We interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With
John
ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Laura's not ready. She asked if we could start in 20 minutes. Welcome to the ThinkSoJoE Show. Went to some good shows this past weekend. I did. I saw you went to a show this past weekend.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about those. We'll talk about why you shouldn't walk with when your foot is asleep and why there are crutches in the background of the shot. We'll talk about stuff going on this weekend. All kinds of stuff, man. All kinds of stuff. So we'll start with this week. I played Tantric with Yellow Sauce.
Yeah, I saw some photos there.
And
is it sold out?
I don't know if it was sold out.
There's a lot of people.
I will say that a lot of the people were only there for the locals. Yellow Sauce opened up the show. Jailbird Joey was next. I missed a lot of Jailbird Joey's set. Not gonna lie, I was outside talking to other people from other bands. My friends in When Legions Fall, which is Jenny, who used to be in a band with Brian. And my buddy Austin, who auditioned to be in a band with me like over a decade ago, are in that band. So I got to hang out with them and see them. And then they crushed it. And as I'm walking in the venue, the singer we played Lovebox on the show last week. Mm-hmm. The singer from Lovebox sends me a friend request right after the show. And I walk into, I'm walking into the Evening Star. And this girl walks up behind me. She says, "Hi, Joe." And I turn around. I'm like, "Hi." She's like, "You don't recognize me." I'm like, "No, sorry." She's like, "Oh, the makeup doesn't help. It's Mary from high school." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, I haven't seen you in like 20 years." She's like, "Yeah, I'm the singer of Lovebox. I sent you a friend request the other day." I'm like, "Oh, well, I didn't make the connection." She's like, "I had a different last name of Mary, you know." And it turned out it was her very first show ever. She couldn't hear herself. She still did well. Her mic was giving a lot of feedback, so it seemed, I guess the guy just turned off her monitors, which I guess is an effective way to kill feedback in a microphone, but doesn't help you sing well, so she was kind of not thrilled with her performance. I thought she did great. I hadn't seen her in 23 years. Like, I graduated in 99. I have not seen this girl since. And then I went to Skamagachi on Sunday, and she was there. I'm like, "What? Like, I haven't seen you in 23 years. Now I see you twice in a weekend. What the fuck?" So, but yeah, if you see Lovebox on a bill, definitely go check them out. When Legions Fall, go check them out. Skamagachi, Karma Queen, Badger Danger, Gumshoe, and I forget who the other band on the show I went to on Sunday was. Go see all of them. Especially Karma Queen, and I'm going to tell you where you can see Karma Queen this weekend, where I'm going to see Karma Queen this weekend. We're going to talk about South Buffalo Porch Fest today. You also went to a show. You went to, where did you go?
The Ironworks.
Right, Ironworks. And who'd you see?
Vertical Child.
Okay, yeah. And Winsky, right? The
Winsky.
dual CD release.
Winsky, they were really good.
Yeah.
I was...
At the Helm was on that show too, yeah?
That was a really good show, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I love At the Helm, and if I wasn't playing that night, I would have probably gone there.
I noticed some of the bands we obviously played on the show, so...
Yeah.
I know this song.
I mean, we played, I think we played we played Winsky last week. We played one of the two of them last week.
Yeah, but
because it's always very convenient when bands put out their EPs before
Yeah.
their EP release, and were able to just kind of be like, oh, hey, let's play a song off their EP to
Yeah.
promote their EP release. We're doing that today, actually, with I think with Orange Corner. I think has an EP, has a CD release coming out this weekend.
There was a couple people I haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah. So we're both running into people we haven't seen in a while.
Sam was there.
Yeah. I went to so Gumshoe was playing on the show I went to Sunday, and that is Mark Lee's band, and that's that was I know Mark through Brian, and we got to talking about, you know, he bought some of Brian's gear, including my old HX Stomp. I'm like, damn, I guess I'm not getting that back. Okay. Which I mean, I don't need it because I don't need it here and I don't need it at practice. And but he's also got Brian's wristband, which I thought was cool. He was telling me, yeah, I got Brian's old Living Brain Dead wristband. It's like, oh shit, man, nobody's, apparently they can't hear us. I didn't even notice. There's no sound. We're going to fix that right now. Thank you for telling us now. Oops.
Need to run this transmission.
I hold on. We'll fix it. I don't know what happened here. Give me a sec. Studio mode. It would have been nice if you would have told us, you know, like when we started the show. Let's see here. No, on this one. We're going to fix this. This one, there it is. Hey, we have sound. Okay. Would have been nice to, you know that before we told a bunch of stories for 5 minutes. Anyway, we'll fix that in post. Anyway, I never fix the podcast in post, but we'll fix that in post. Anyway. So we were talking about all the great shows we went to this weekend.
Yeah. Killer shows, man.
I will quickly recap what we've talked about in the last 5 minutes before somebody finally told us that they couldn't hear us. She was going to wait for the 10-minute mark. She says, it's Laura for you. Anyway. So anyway, I was at the Tantric show. Most people were there for the locals. I saw When Legions Fall, friends of mine. The lead singer of Lovebox is a friend of mine from high school that I haven't seen since high school. And I saw her again Sunday night at the Skamagachi show. She's friends with their drummer. I'm friends with their singer. Let me tell you about Karma Queen, man. Karma Queen was just killer on Sunday night. I hadn't seen them before. And like their guitar player is finger picking an 8-string guitar. I'm like, God damn, I can't even like pick with a pick on a 6-string guitar sometimes. And I was also talking to the singer, the guitar player from Lovebox right after their set, and he was saying the exact same thing. Like, their bass player and drummer switched places at one point. So the bass player, so the drummer could play the sax and the bass player was playing the drums. They did that actually twice. And then the bass player was playing keyboards at one point. It's like, holy shit, man. Save some talent for the rest of us, Karma Queen. So I have no idea why it went to the default setting instead of the fucking Rodecaster. It's weird. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Then you saw At the Helm and Winsky and Vertigo Child.
At the Helm.
Yeah. At the Helm.
I did recognize that band. Mario did 2 sets that night.
Did he?
He was on the Helm and then his Vertical Child.
Okay. Yeah, last time I saw At the Helm was at Music is Art last year, and Mario wasn't with them. They had a different bass player, but like it's like Gus is playing anyway.
He was wearing pants.
It
was shocking.
Mario was wearing pants.
I got a picture of it. A t-shirt and pants.
No, t-shirt and pants?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, and the other thing you might have missed during the 7 minutes before Laura finally told us that we weren't having any audio is that John's going to tell you why you shouldn't walk when your foot's asleep.
I should.
You
Okay.
should. So what happened?
All right. So I was at my girlfriend's house. We were watching a movie. She was at her desk doing some of her wonderful artwork. She's really good. I mean, she's amazing at it. But I was on a recliner and had the recliner up, and at the end of the recliner was her cat, Majima. And I didn't want to put my feet out and move him or anything. He was sleeping. So I kind of like folded, like sat on my foot and watching a whole movie or watching Resident Evil. And I told her I was going to get up, I'm going to go use the bathroom. I got up, which my foot was still asleep, and I made the first step. My foot bended the other way, and I just dropped to the ground when I made that first step. And I felt something crack, but yeah, that's how it pretty much happened. I'm a klutz. I tripped over my own feet, and I fractured it.
So you called me the other day, and you're
Yes.
telling me this story. And you're telling it to me just like this. You're like, my
Yes.
foot, the cat's at the end of the cat is at the end of the recliner, and my foot is asleep, and I'm just thinking like, oh fuck, he stepped on the cat and killed it. Like,
No, I didn't kill the cat. I scared the cat. I didn't kill the cat.
but then you
Scared my girlfriend though too in the process.
then you finished the story and told me you fractured your foot, and like, you said you're able to play drums. You're not
Yes.
able to drive. So, and what sucks is,
Well, I drove all the way home with it.
yeah. Well, what sucks is you and I are going out of town twice in the next 2 weeks.
I gotta bring those with me.
So we've already got he's got the walking boot on. We've already got bus tickets for Pittsburgh. We were like, all right, let's just bus to Pittsburgh. So we're gonna basically bus to Pittsburgh, Uber probably straight to the venue because we're getting in
Yeah.
at like 4 something. And then luckily we already had a hotel room, so it's just like, all right, cool. We could sleep in and catch this 7 something bus instead of the 5 something bus. So those boots are made for walking.
Yeah, they are.
I just got Nancy Sinatra boots on vinyl a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, we got to figure out how the fuck we're getting to the AEW show in Rochester now.
Yeah.
'Cause
So
I'll put it out there. I'll see if any of our friends are going and have extra space for the two of us. So we don't have to buy bus tickets and figure out like hotels out there and shit.
Yeah. So I might be out for like 2 to 3 months with this injury.
But
So-
you're able to play drums.
Yes.
Which is good because we have a show in just over a month. So
So we're gonna have to wait and see how I recover. That's why he doesn't want me walking on it, even with the walking boot.
yeah.
So yeah, never wait for your foot to wake up. Never walk when your foot's asleep. Ever.
Good advice because sometimes I will like get up and my foot will be asleep and I'll be like, ah shit, I gotta be like super careful. So now I'm just not gonna get up. I'll be like, yeah, I'm just gonna wait a minute.
He was thinking my calcium level was low because I really don't even drink milk.
Right.
So, to break that easily. But yeah, no, that's what happened. I messed up. I'm a klutz. I'm really am a klutz.
Laura says, John, if you were my boyfriend, you wouldn't have a broken foot. I don't know, like, how does your girlfriend feel about this? Like, does she feel terrible that you broke your foot at her house? Does she? Is she like?
She kept apologizing. I said it's not your
Like,
fault. It's my
what
fault.
could she do about it? It's not. Yeah, exactly.
It's my fault. It happened at your place. It's not your fault.
Like, yeah.
I know. I understand that, but it's
Like,
my,
what could
my fault.
what could she do? Like, she didn't know your foot was asleep and that you were gonna break your foot. Like, I don't know.
I should've
But
waited
is
a
she like?
minute before I got up?
Is she like, seeing that you're gonna be on the podcast and she's like, oh man, what a trooper. He's making his commitments. Like, what's like I didn't even think about the podcast. Like, my first thought was, oh shit, I don't have a drummer. Like, and then you're like, oh, I can drum. Like, oh, okay, cool. And then you're
Yeah.
like, my dad's gonna drive me to the podcast on Wednesday. Like, oh yeah, that's a thing.
So yeah, it's not her fault, and I know she felt bad, but it's my fault. I messed up. I should have waited. My foot wasn't asleep, and I'm a klutz. I told her, I'm a big klutz.
I mean,
I never broke anything in my life. This is the first big injury I ever.
you're not
first broken
necessarily.
bone.
I mean, I can't imagine that you're getting up thinking like, oh, I'm about to break my foot. Like, it
No,
was
I
probably
did
just a
not.
freak accident.
It was.
Did you just like
But-
step wrong or
Yeah,
okay.
I stepped wrong, and I got up, and I was walking on it fine because my foot didn't. It was still asleep, kind of.
Yeah.
Then like 2 minutes later, I couldn't walk on it. I had to hop to my car.
Jeez. Yeah.
I'm all cheap to walk, and I live in Lockport, and I had to drive. So that was crazy as it is.
Laura blames me.
It's Joe's fault.
It is my fault because you came on the show and you asked about what to put on your dating profile, and me and the audience, we crowdsourced what you put on your dating profile.
Yeah.
Then you meet a girl, you get into a relationship, you go to her house, you break your foot. It is my fault. There you go. I'll take the blame.
It's Joe's fault.
Sure, I'll take the blame. Sure, it's my fault.
But yeah, that's what happened. I learned my lesson.
Yeah. I didn't even know, like, you just got the crutches today.
Yes.
And so I didn't even know, like, until you got out of the car and you went to the back door and you're like getting the crutches out. I'm like, oh shit. Like, do you need help getting up the stairs, dude? Like,
I'm a trooper, man.
well, I'll tell you what, you want to contribute to John's medical bills, buy some merch.
Buy my merch.
Buy
his merch. Buy my merch.
Buy the Ask John t-shirt, buy the ThinkSoJoE Show, what do you call it? Test pattern t-shirt here. Get the Blockbuster shirt or the Super Mario shirt. I was wearing the Super Mario shirt the other day, the Super ThinkSoJoE Show shirt. And this girl just comes up to me. She's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand your shirt. I'm like, it's my podcast. She's like, oh, okay. Like, the people who need to know. You know?
I'm not John today. I'm Axl Rose.
Yeah, he's Axl Rose today. It's been in the chat. It's been mentioned. Let me see, where is it? Had to wear the GNR shirt, Axl.
Oh yeah.
John's merchandise is a Guns N' Roses shirt. We need to make a Guns N' Roses shirt. I will
right,
figure this
Laura.
out for next week's episode.
Thank you, Laura.
But yeah, sure. If you want to blame me for John breaking his foot, sure. I don't know how I give you advice on what to put in your dating profile. You get a girlfriend in like a week. I'm still sitting here like single. You know, like, what the fuck?
You'll find somebody, man.
So, I guess. I'm like talking to somebody, but who knows how, you know, it hasn't really gotten into that like, hey, we should meet mode yet. But that's because like we're both super busy with work and shit. I don't know. John, rate the hospital out of 16.
2.
2.
They should have gave me crutches.
Should have gave you crutches leaving. Okay.
beginning.
Okay. Girl, so what do you do? I sit in a closet and I talk to myself. I do not do wrestling podcasts. I used to do a wrestling podcast.
Oh, Sam.
I do not anymore. Girl, oh, look at the time.
Girl, look at the time.
Oh, look at the time. Gotta go. Yeah. I used to do wrestling podcasts.
Hey, Sam, do you miss me at work?
Used to do wrestling podcasts. I play in a band and I get paid to talk. I do wrestling news for a living, basically. I was telling somebody the other day, like somebody was like, oh, I hate WWE these days. I'm like, then stop watching. Like, I would totally stop watching if I wasn't basically getting paid to watch. It's not the same without you. It's quiet at work. It's too quiet. It's a little too quiet. It's Raph. Yeah, a little too Raph.
Too rare.
Tell you what, man, I've been playing that Ninja Turtles Splinter's Revenge. It just came out the other day. That game is fun. It's just like the classic arcade games. Except there's like a story mode you could play through, and you don't got to worry about how many lives you go through or anything like that. But I'll tell you what, it's been fun to play. So I'm, I've beaten it with Leonardo. I've beaten it with Michelangelo. I'm in the middle of beating it with Raph. So, dude, if you got Xbox and you have Game Pass, it's on Game Pass, so you don't even have to pay for it. I heard it's like $25 if you don't have Game Pass or if you're on like PlayStation or Switch or whatever. But yeah, for Xbox, if you have Game Pass, it's free. So that's cool. What is happening in WWE? What is Cody doing?
He's injured.
Yeah, Cody is Cody's out for longer than John is. I was gonna bring up Ryan Gosling in the Barbie movie, but we talked about that last week. Sam has Switch. The next game he's getting is the new Kirby. All right, yeah. No, I as soon as I saw that, like, because they announced that Ninja Turtles game like a year ago, and it was like, I have to have that. I have to have that. I have to have that. And then it was just like 2 weeks ago. They're like, hey, Casey Jones is gonna be in the game. Also, it's gonna be on Game Pass. Like, cool. I don't even have to pay for this. I already have Game Pass. I can just play it as soon as it comes out. Tell you what, speaking of games, I just got the shipping notification for my Mortal Kombat Arcade 1-Up. It's coming next Tuesday. So hopefully it's coming earlier in the day, so if we do end up having band practice, I don't have to worry about how the fuck about where they put it when they drop it off. Not that anybody's going to be able to steal that big-ass thing. But, yeah. Anyway. I'm not even acknowledging that, Laura. Anyway. That ridiculous statement. Yeah. So, yeah. That's it's been an interesting weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm seeing people I haven't seen in 23 years multiple times over the course of the weekend. You're breaking your foot.
I was just, like I said, I was telling you. I told myself, I wonder what's going to happen today. And I said that on Saturday morning. I jinxed myself.
You called me, and I swear, like, I'm just like, the cat is involved in this story, and I'm like, fuck. What happened to the cat? And then it's like, oh, you broke your foot. That's better than the cat dying, like I thought happened, but that's still bad.
No.
What's the worst injury before this that you've ever had? The worst injury? Yeah.
I did injure my finger when I was like 14.
Okay.
But it wasn't broken.
Okay.
It was, I went to catch a basketball and my hand went, but I didn't break it.
Okay. My worst injury that I went to a doctor for was I broke my finger. I was working making what do you call it? Spa covers, hot covers for your hot tub. Like you own a hot tub, you go get these big, leather covers with foam in them. I was making those. And I'm cutting this metal that gets embedded in there to like reinforce it. And the thing's coming off the roll, and I just went to kind of like put the roll back together, and it like fell, and I crushed my finger in between the roll of metal, like the roll of steel, and like the thing that it was on. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, I'm fine. And they made me go to the hospital. So,
I hate hospitals. I was there for like 8 hours. It felt like 8 hours.
Yeah.
Nobody was there. It was dead.
That sucks. Yeah, that was my worst, was probably, and I've had my nose broken at least once, possibly twice. And then I'm pretty sure I bruised my ribs, but I didn't go to the hospital for that because they wouldn't have done anything anyway. I went to work. Like it was at Canal Side. It was Real Big Fish, and they were opening for some reason, they were opening for Bad Fish, the Sublime tribute band. Why is Real Big Fish opening for a Sublime tribute band? I don't know. It should be the other way around. But anyway, so I got hurt during Real Big Fish, and I was planning on staying the whole show and then going to work. Like I already arranged to go to work late and all that. But I hurt my ribs, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave now. And I went to work, and my old boss's son, he went to like med school and shit. So I'm like, I walk in, I'm like, Nevin, what do I do? Like, I think I bruised my ribs. Should I go to the hospital or should I just like ignore it? He says, the one thing I'd be concerned about is if you broke your ribs, it might like puncture a lung or something. But if you're saying from what you're telling me, it doesn't sound like you broke it. Just sounds like it's bruised, so they wouldn't do anything for you anyway, so you might as well just stay here. Like, okay, cool. And I went to work, and I couldn't breathe for like 3 weeks. You know, but, you know, that sucked. What about, Sam says, what about Overlook? When Overlook was first formed, you were hurting hard playing drums for a while.
Oh, yeah. I told you about. Yeah.
Have you?
My heart.
Oh, your heart.
But,
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I'm making a full recovery for that.
Yeah, which is good to hear because when you first told us about it, we're like, oh shit, you're gonna die. Like,
I haven't listened to the doctors about that stuff, so
yeah,
I've been taking care of that.
Yeah, glad to hear that's good. Laura says it was dead in the hospital.
Yeah, there was nobody there. I was usually a hospital like an ER would be busy.
COVID numbers are down here. We're actually at like low transmission, so it wasn't that you like hurt yourself playing hockey and the injury kept flaring up at practice. I don't know. I wasn't there. That's
What did he say?
He said you hurt yourself playing hockey and the injury kept flaring up at practice.
Playing hockey.
I have no idea. Back when we had Paul, he says.
I said that?
I wasn't there, man. I gotta tell you, I gotta take Sam's word for it, I guess. I don't know. So that was apparently a while ago.
I don't know. I don't think I said hockey.
Okay. The worst I got hurt playing hockey was I took a slap shot right off the toe. That hurt. Bro, you didn't play for like 2 months, he says.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, now he knows what he's talking about. I have no idea what's going on.
It's been so long.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what happened?
I was a goalie, so.
Right.
So
I
It
can
didn't start
imagine
from that though.
I can imagine any injury you get as a goalie would affect your ability to play drums.
Yeah.
Like, because what's a typical goalie injury? It's like a pulled groin, right? Like, can we check John's brain? I don't want to check John's brain. John's got enough wrong with him.
what's wrong with my brain? What are you trying to say, Laura?
I'm always
What are
worried.
you trying to say, Laura?
I'm always worried about John's health and he's always now you know your health has improved since I've known you.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully,
I would be playing drums if I wasn't.
Thankfully, so yeah, I don't know why she wants to check your brain, but yeah. I have no idea, man. I just work here. But yeah, some good shows coming up this weekend. We got Porch Fest is coming up this weekend. We actually, and I'm really glad we didn't take this show. The Queers and the Dwarves are playing at Mohawk Place this Saturday. We're gonna play Johnny Revolting a little later on. They got that show. We originally got asked, but we couldn't 100% commit. So I didn't want to be like, yeah, we'll take the show, and then like 2 weeks before be like, yo, we can't do the show. For a show that big, you know what I mean? Like that's a huge show, the Queers and the Dwarves. So I'm glad that our friends in Johnny Revolting got that show. I'm also glad we didn't take that show, and the reason being, it's the night of my kid's graduation, so I kind of have to be somewhere else that night. I would have like honored the commitment and played the show, but I would have felt so bad about it. Like, so I'm definitely going to my kid's graduation. My ex-wife, not my kid's mom, but my second ex-wife, graduated high school in her 20s. Like right when we first started dating, she graduated, and she's like, my graduation's at at this place, and it's at this time, and I'm like, yeah, the Violent Femmes are playing that night. I'm going to that. And she's like, why, you're gonna miss my graduation? I'm like, when am I ever gonna get to see the Violent Femmes again? The answer was 2021. I saw them last year. Anyway, we will get to the Ask John portion of the show because Laura's asking questions now. We'll get to that when we get back from the first song break, because we're actually going to launch into the song break on time for once, Laura. How do you feel about that? Anyway, the band We Were Blank, they are performing Friday at Rec Room, 79 West Chippewa in Buffalo, opening for Boys of Fall, along with Hyperview. That shows at 6 p.m. It's $13, $16, or 16 and age 16 and up. And we're going to play some music now. This is We Were Blank and the song called I've Played 190 Days of RuneScape on all WNY ThinkSoJoE Show.
Self-love under the couch, inside the drain catch, the last place I left it, and I figured it out. I'm finding self-love swept out of the carpet, down in the basement where you least expect it, and I'm telling myself, if not forever, for now. If not forever, for now. Myself paid out by the trash bin, but he grew new limbs and crawled his way back in, and I can't get him out. And if this keeps up for a long time, I think I'll lose my mind. So I try to bind myself to small things that help. I just need some water, a haircut, or just to keep telling myself, if not forever, for now. If not forever, for now. The sun will go down, the moon will come out. If not forever, for now. The sun will go down, the moon will come out. If not forever, for now. The sun will go down, the moon will come out. If not forever, for now. The sun will go down, the moon will come out. If not forever, for now. 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 If not forever, for now.
We Were Blank on all WNY ThinkSoJoE Show. Laura, how many times I got to tell you? The white line is Grandmaster Flash of the Furious 5. White lines going through my mind. Anyway,
It's what you told me it was like a reflection from the skull.
you really think she's gonna heal your foot because you're telling her what the white line actually is? Come on.
Heal me, please. I don't want to be on crutches.
Scott will go after me for singing Grandmaster Flash on the show. Anyway, I got that album coming soon. I think it comes out like next month or August or something. I don't know. It's pre-ordered. I just got one of my pre-orders the other day. I got the Beach Boys, like the greatest hits of the Beach Boys. I got that
down
Ultimate
Beach
Mortal
Boys.
Kombat 3 that's right behind you there. I went to Record Store Day. Oh, I got a record coming from a place in Ohio, actually. I went to Record Store Day Drop 1 or whatever the fuck they were calling it the other day, which was basically like the shit that they couldn't get out in time for Record Store Day that was supposed to come out on Record Store Day.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I really want this punk compilation from like the 90s that they're pressing on vinyl for the first time. And I really want this compilation of TV theme songs. And then the way they were doing it was weird because like Revolver was like, we're going to have all of them, but we're going to have them at Transit at 8 a.m. And then at 11 a.m., when the other two stores open, we're going to take whatever's left over at Transit, we're going to distribute it among all three stores. It's like, well, that's stupid. I'm not going to get what I want because I'm not going to be able to go to Transit. So I go to Black Dots instead over on Grant. Which I've only been to once. I went there with Brian on a Record Store Day a few years ago. So I go there because they've got the punk compilation. They don't have the TV compilation. They had one copy of the punk compilation. The guy behind me wanted it. Like, sorry, dude, this is what I came for. Can't help you. So I grabbed that. I grabbed the Alice Cooper record that actually came out on Record Store Day. And the Hailstorm record that's shaped like a tombstone. Like, I don't know if I'm necessarily going to listen to this. I might be able to flip it, and then it's going for less than what I paid for it. So I guess I'll just keep it. But the TV theme songs one I couldn't get. They didn't have it there. So I'm like, all right, like it's like 10 after 10. How far is Revolver from here? So I walk up to Revolver. And I get there around like 10:30, and they're opening at 11. And I happen to see Phil, the owner. I see him outside, and he's loading in all the stuff he's bringing in from Transit. And I said, "Hey, Phil, do you have that TV theme songs compilation? Just so I know, like, because I'll hang out here until you open if you have it. If not, I'm just gonna go home." And he's like, I think I might. And he dug through it. He's like, "Nah, man, I don't have it. I'm sorry, we must have sold out." Like. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know. And I was able to get home by 11 instead of, hanging out there till 11. And then I mentioned it on somebody's comments in the Western New York vinyl group. And they're like, oh, this place in Ohio has a bunch of them, and they'll have them up on the website at like 8 a.m. tomorrow. So the next day I'm up, I'm always up till like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning now anyway. So I'm like, screw it, I'll just wait for them to put their shit up online, and I'll just buy it from them. So I got it coming, finally. So, bunch of vinyl, just got. Laura had asked before the song break, where did it go? I did not start the music on time, she is correct. I was a few seconds late. Joe music. John, thoughts on stamps?
Thoughts on stamps.
Thoughts on stamps. Oops, that's not the button I wanted. While you're thinking of your thoughts there. Thoughts on stamps. He's thinking
I like
about
to
it.
use them. At the mail letter to somebody. Needs stamps.
I think she meant the bar.
Oh, the bar? Stamps the bar?
I assumed the bar, but maybe she meant... It is Laura, so maybe she meant like postage stamps. I don't know.
I played at Stamps mostly my whole career as a drummer.
Your first show with us was at Stamps, and we haven't played there since.
Yeah, 2 years.
So it's gonna be it'll be like coming home on the 29th.
Yeah, but this
Postage stamps. She did say postage. She specifies now postage stamps.
All right. Yeah.
So yes, postage stamps. Are you a stamp collector? Are you an
No.
avid? Do you have a little binder and you got all the like rare stamps? The airplane's upside down, so you got to collect that one. Like, no.
No.
You have. He's just looking at me like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Airplanes upside down.
What the hell are you talking about?
Anyway, does John collect stamps?
No.
Is that you? Is that one in
No.
the car?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was digging through an old hard drive and I found from a show I used to be on. I literally sat at work one night and just grabbed a bunch of sound clips from Wayne's World and just was like, huh, I could probably use some of these now. So like, hey, let me just throw some of these in some of the, I got a couple of sound banks here. Let me just.
talked about Bugs Bunny dressing up like a girl.
Bugs Bunny dressing up like, yeah. Right, exactly.
Bugs Bunny, yeah.
I saw somebody earlier and they were talking about, oh, 5-year-olds shouldn't go to drag shows. And I'm just like, dude, when we were growing up, RuPaul was on TV all the time. True. And Bugs Bunny dressed up, we definitely saw Bugs Bunny dress up in drag to fool Elmer Fudd. Like, and we turned out fine. There's nothing wrong. Like, kids fucking understand this shit. Like, why is that man wearing a dress? Because he's comfortable in it. Oh, okay. It's not that hard. Seriously. Anyway. So I commented that, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to, like, get this dude, like, get into his head that, like, you know, people who dress in drag and people who are trans and people who do all this, like, they're all, you know, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
No.
It's just,
not at all.
you know, like,
That's them.
it's something you're not used to seeing, and thankfully, like, society is starting to come around to this more, and they're starting to be able to, like, be more comfortable being themselves, and so it's like, you know, like, it doesn't affect, like, as a straight white male, as this individual I'm talking about is, like, it doesn't affect you at all that somebody else doesn't feel comfortable as the gender they were born.
Yeah. They're still the same person.
Right. So, you know, and that's like, you know, and it, you know, like,
people gotta stop judging people. Let them be who they want to be.
Being, you know, being very close with a transgender individual as we are.
Yeah.
Also, my kid's best friend is transgender. Like, I don't want to deal, like I don't want to deal with transphobia or homophobia or anything like that, because I've got friends who are gay. I've got friends who are, you know, bi. I've got pansexual friends, asexual friends. Like,
I'm happy for them.
Yeah. Laura says, next week, Joe and John in drag. No. I mean, if it's hot enough, maybe. I don't know. I mean, we got the fan going in here, but it's still pretty warm, so I don't know. Maybe it'd be more comfortable in a dress. We are all freaks or weird. Accept it. Yeah. Exactly. So, you know.
I agree more.
But yeah, it's just accept people for who they are, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like saying, you know, calling a trans woman a man is the same as, like, using the N-word. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, you're one step away from you know, from being, like, you know, racist.
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, I mean, I don't want to deal with that, and the worst part is it's one of the dudes I'm going to Metallica with, so like, dude, I need you to stop doing this. I can't hang out with you if you're gonna do this. Like, and I've known the dude my whole life, so I don't want, it's like, I know in my heart that he's, you know, like, he's more of a, do what you want to do, just keep it away from me kind of guy, but, like, still. Like, you don't need to go out of your way to be like, yo, that's wrong. You know?
Yeah.
Like, that's fucked. So, you know, it is what it is. Trying to, like, get it into his head, like, dude, you can't keep saying shit like this. Because, you know, those people want me to share a restroom with a bearded trans man. What? Those people want me to share a restroom with a bearded trans man to keep me safe? Okay. I don't know what you're getting at there. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I got no problem with anything anybody wants to do as long as they're not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? Like, why have a problem with what somebody else is doing behind closed doors? And then, like, you know, like I said, like, kids are very understanding of shit like this. You know what I mean? Like, you can, you know, why is that man wearing a dress? Because he's comfortable.
Yeah.
Why is he wearing makeup? Because he wants to.
There's always got to be those kind of people
Yeah.
that don't understand.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's weird to me that.
I don't know. It needs to stop.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But yeah. Anyway. So yeah, you broke your foot. That sucks. And
I had no idea.
yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. I'm gonna be more careful when I get up when my foot is asleep
I
now.
recommend it.
I do often get up when my foot is asleep and just kind of like, walk very gingerly and tenderly and like very carefully, but like.
I thought it was like Jello.
Yeah.
I should have waited.
So now, what did the cat have to do with this?
The cat?
Yeah, well like you keep mentioning the cat when you tell the story. What did the cat have?
No, the cat had nothing to do with me breaking my foot. I didn't want to bother the cat, so that's why I folded my legs and I sat on my foot.
Okay, that makes sense. All right,
He was sleeping.
that makes sense.
Majima was sleeping. I didn't want to stall. I didn't. He was comfortable. I didn't want to move him.
John, rate the pain. Hold on, I got this one. I got this one for you. No, I don't. I don't have it on here. What rate the pain?
So 1 being good, 10 being worse. I'm about an 8.
About an 8? Okay. I thought I had on here, it's sucking my will to live, but I don't.
Oh, the suck cut?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the cat
The suck cut.
What a totally amazing, excellent discovery.
Not. But no, the cat had nothing to do with it. I just didn't want to bother the cat.
She wants to know, what is the cat called?
Majima.
Majima. Okay.
Yeah, he's my little buddy. I love that dude.
Every time you're like coming over for the podcast or for wrestling or anything, I tell Snowball, I'm like, your buddy's coming over.
Snowball's my buddy too. I think I scared him on the way in.
Yeah, you might have with the like they haven't seen anybody on crutches, I don't think.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah.
You've gotten to see like Sylvester has warmed up to you.
Oh yeah.
Which he never warms up to anybody. He likes to.
He's standing on his 2 feet.
He will stand up for you to pet him, and he doesn't do that for anybody but me. So like that's cool.
Good. They know
That's cool.
Good people or bad people.
I'm in the kitchen at like 4 o'clock this morning, and I'm like, Sylvester's in the kitchen with me, and he's standing up to get pet, and it's just like he's named after obviously the cartoon cat.
Yeah.
Because he's also black and white like Sylvester. I'm like, he needs a Tweety Bird toy. So 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm ordering this cat a Tweety Bird toy. Whether he's going to play with it or not, I don't know. But it's like, I got to get a picture of him with a Tweety Bird toy. So I ordered like a Tweety Bird dog toy because there was one that was like, it's for dogs and cats, but everybody's like, it's so easy for the animal to rip the limbs off of it. I'm like, I don't want that. So then I got one, it's just, it's not like a plush, it's like, it's shaped kind of like Tweety, and it's got a picture of Tweety on it, so it's like, okay, that'll do. So I got Sylvester a Tweety Bird. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, I added some Wayne's World stuff to the board here so we could there's always like a spot in the show where I'm told to go away. I'm like, okay, I'll go away, and it's gonna be like that scene in Wayne's World where Wayne quits the show and Garth is left on his own, and I always say,
Did you ever see that scene in Scanners when that dude's head blew up?
John, favorite episode of The Simpsons?
Favorite? I really never got in.
You never got into The Simpsons, and you're in a band with me?
I was mostly Family Guy.
You're gonna miss all the jokes I make because
I know.
I can hold an entire conversation.
Okay, there was one.
Okay.
I saw the what was it? The sinkhole.
That was in the movie.
I saw the movie then. That's what I saw. I saw the movie. Big bubble.
Yeah, I am able to hold an entire conversation in Simpsons quotes. I did that to somebody once. They were like, dude, stop! And I just kept going. But, yeah.
Oh, God.
I've been watching more South Park lately just because I can.
Yeah.
I've seen all the episodes of The Simpsons so many times, and it's just like, all right, let me watch something else. So I've been like putting on South Park when I go to sleep. I got the soundtrack for Bigger, Longer, Uncut, the best musical ever made. Way better than anything that came out in the late 1970s. I mean, I guess I could sit here and say Grease sucks because nobody who liked Grease is watching the show. Anyway. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of did it like there's like yes and no kind of stuff on here. So when you answer a question, I can give you a kind of a correct or an incorrect.
Oh, okay.
But in Wayne's World quotes.
All
So.
right. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Just because you're always like, talking about how we're basically Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
So
I ordered my Garf t-shirt.
Cool. So like I've seen posts from myself in the past where I'm just like, I want to start like the Western New York equivalent of Wayne's World. And that was back when I was just doing audio podcasts. And it never like dawned on me that once I started doing video podcasts, it is essentially Wayne's World until you mentioned it when you first started. So it's like, okay, yeah, I could see that this is kind of like Wayne's World. It's party time. Excellent. And now I got a DI plugged in over here, so I could literally like plug a guitar in and just be Wayne. Give you some drumsticks. Yeah.
It's pretty much you play guitar. I'm a drummer.
That's true. That's true. Except we're actually in a band. So.
Yeah.
But I was there's the stupid deal of the day on Guitar Center today is a electronic drum kit, and I've been thinking of getting one. And like trying to teach myself how to play drums and just doing like a solo album. Cause like I got this bass sitting here and I've been picking this up and I got like this rhythm that I've been playing where I'm just like, this would be cool for like, it's not like something for living brain dead, but it's something that I could put out. Especially I've got, Brain Dead Cynic Records and only one label signed to my one band signed to my 2-band label. So, Laura's favorite episode of The Simpsons is the one where Bart jumps off the cliff with the skateboard. Bart the Daredevil, early season of The Simpsons. And John, why the drums?
Why the drums? Good question. When I was like 6 or 7, I got into my dad got me into the whole rock and roll thing. And I used to remember like watching like Dave Grohl from Nirvana.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so because I want to, future-wise, I want to be, okay, I want to play music. This is awesome. Just like, I started beating like pots and pans. You used to yell at me for that stuff.
I used to set up like boxes in the basement in the shape of a drum kit and just beat on it with whatever I could find.
They would see me playing drums.
And I was inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles coming out of their Shells tour.
But yeah,
Somebody needs to put that out on vinyl, the whole fucking thing. Like some of the songs are available as like a 45, but like the full album is not available. And I've talked to Enjoy the Ride Records, who did the Mortal Kombat record that's over there. And they were like, we can't get the rights to it. Somebody else has them. They've put out a few of the songs, but we've been trying to get the rights to it and we can't. So hopefully somebody will get the full rights to that and put out a full album. Actually, the Splinter's Revenge, the Ninja Turtles game that just came out, I bought the soundtrack. I ordered it.
Nice.
I didn't realize Enjoy the Records had it, so I ordered it from someplace in Europe. And but it's not coming out until like August or September or something. Actually, I think it might be October. Yeah, like I've always wanted to play music. Like I was really into like Hall & Oates when I was a kid. And there was always guitars around me. There was one that was actually, oh no, it's not in here anymore. There was one in my I don't know where the fuck I put that. Anyway, there was one in my grandparents' attic, and I would take that out every now and then, just this acoustic guitar, and I didn't know how to play guitar, so I would just like, strum the open strings. Like I have no idea what I'm doing. Then my dad bought me, on one of the rare occasions he actually like showed up, bought me like this toy guitar and amplifier and microphone kit, but it was like a real guitar. You could play it like a real guitar. It was just plastic. And I kind of figured out how to fret notes, but I didn't know like what the notes were or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then my friend we were just talking about, the one who's kind of, a little transphobic, he got a guitar right when I was starting to get into metal, because I was into like hip hop for the longest time. And so like he started getting me into like metal and heavier music, and I, along with like, stuff that I was seeing on MTV, where I'm like, oh, Rage Against the Machine, that's cool. So he got a guitar. And then I still had that acoustic guitar. So I'm like sitting there like, he's calling me up, like telling me how to play Metallica songs and shit. So I'm like learning, teaching myself how to play guitar. I'm buying guitar magazines. They're, they got the tabs, and it's like, oh, okay, that's how you play guitar. And that's, I learned that way by like reading the guitar magazines and everything. And the internet kind of came into prominence, and you could just go online and find guitar tabs and like, okay, cool, I'm gonna learn how to play this song now. Joe talking about his youth, was this before or after the war? Which war? It was after Desert Storm. Anyway, yeah. So I kind of learned, taught myself how to play guitar, and then I didn't think I was much of a guitar player, so I sang in a band for a while and played I brought a guitar and I played on like 3 songs, which, no, that's a terrible idea to only play on a few songs if you're a guitar player, because you gotta lug your gear just to play on like 3 songs. Civil War, I wasn't around for the Civil War, Laura, I'm not that old. Anyway, I'll be around for the next Civil War, because that ain't gonna take much longer, I don't think. Anyway, so I learned how to play guitar, and then my stepdad, I didn't get my first guitar until I was like 16, but my stepdad had, actually maybe 17, I think I got my first guitar, but my stepdad had guitars, so I was able to play his guitars, including this beautiful white vintage American Strat, like beautiful. So, I was playing those, and then I was like, occasionally, like he had a bass, but he would loan it out to people. So it was around every now and then. So I get to play bass a little bit. And then finally I got my first electric guitar, which was a Squier Strat, and I still have it to this day. It's covered in stickers and shit. I would never play it at a show. But I've got like 8 other electric guitars besides that one now. I've got 2 basses. I now have a ukulele that I got to learn how to play. I just got a harmonica that I got to learn how to play. And I want to learn how to play drums. I'm going to do a solo album at some point, like Brian did. It's not going to be nearly as good as Brian's. I'm going to do a solo album at some point of me just playing music. Because like, it's kind of like I'm playing stuff and I'm like, oh man, this would be cool for something that's like not Living Brain Dead. So that's kind of where I'm at. And so now there's like an electronic drum kit, but the reviews are shit on it. So I'm like, maybe I'll just, get a loan from, because like I could get a loan right now of like $2,500 and just get a good one. But, I just got to teach myself.
I could probably show you.
Yeah. I can, keep a beat, but like I haven't, I think if I had a kit to play on, I'd be okay, as opposed to like, like I can go to practice and I can play your kit, but like that's not enough time to like learn how to actually do what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, John says, rather than play an instrument, I can sing Bon Scott AC/DC. Well, I mean, if you could sing AC/DC, you and John can compete for who's going to be the next front man after Brian Johnson can't do it anymore. Right, Axel?
Right.
But yeah, so that's kind of my idea right now. Is I want to do like a solo thing and play some ukulele on it, some harmonica, play the drums on it, play bass. So I don't know. I got all the software. I've got all the hardware. Why the fuck not? So, oh, she's right. Music time.
Music.
It is music time. Orange Corner is performing Friday at Ironworks, 49 Illinois Street in Buffalo. It's their Handful of Sand album release show. The album is now available on streaming platforms. But they are playing Ironworks with the Pickle Mafia, 8 p.m. $15 advance, $20 day of the show, 18 and up with ID. And this is off the new album, which is entitled Handful of Sand. The song's called King's Ransom on all WNY. ThinkSoJoE Show.
I know it's been hard.
That wasn't it. That was Silence the Cynic. I'm on the wrong page. Here we go. This is Orange Corner.
That's quite a hefty price to pay for you. And you know there's bills to pay, and I can't find my way out of this road. What you give, all you can give, then you start trading happiness for this. And you can live all you can live, or you could die and just live life like you did. Would you be happy if you were right? I don't wanna fight you anymore. I'm so tired living this life from day to day. I never thought I'd find myself in this way. So build your life up if you can. You come up short, just like every man. Cause your light shines bright. If we depart, then you burn out, and I ignite. Hey, oh.
All right, that was Orange Corner on all WNY ThinkSoJoE Show. So what happened was I had the Wayne's World Bank pulled up, which has it actually has a censor button, and it also has Brian's song with us, which I don't have the heart to remove. So so because I was on the wrong bank, I hit the right button, but the wrong track. So oops. But that full last song you heard, that was Orange Corner. That's off the album Handful of Sand. And that's available now on streaming platforms. The release show is Friday at Ironworks. They're playing with the Pickle Mafia. And that's doors at 8, and it's $15 advance, $20 day of the show, 18 plus. So you could actually, theoretically, realistically, you could go to that We Were Blank show where they're opening for Boys of Fall with Hyperview, because that's 6 o'clock doors. So you figure 6 o'clock doors, you got 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock music, you assume. So you got We Were Blank, you got Hyperview, you got Boys of Fall, right? So you got 7, 8, and 9, and then the music's going to start at 9 at that other show. So if you skip the headliner, you can make both and see all the locals. So that's something to do on Friday night. If you're looking for something to do on Friday night, I don't know necessarily that I am. I don't know. I'll see what I'm doing this week. I do intend to check out some artists at Porch Fest. We're gonna play an artist that's playing Porch Fest, South Buffalo Porch Fest, I should say. We're gonna play an artist that's playing for Porch Fest at the 7:30 time slot here. But there's some cool bands playing all over town. It's all free. You just walk around and you go see live music all throughout Western New York. The whole lineup is available at southbuffaloporchfest.com/schedule. And I've been looking to see like where I want to be for some of these shows, and you know, trying to kind of get an idea of where they are in relation to each other, and if I could get back and forth to the different shows. Red Huffy is playing on my porch at noon. And the artist we're playing a little later, Molly Conrad, she's playing on my porch at 2 o'clock rather. And then there's other bands playing on my street here, including Quaker Gun Club is playing 3 to 4 p.m. a couple of houses down from me. Beyond Frontier, a couple of houses down from me, are playing at 1 p.m. At 1 p.m., I'm hoping to be over at 22 Milford, where Karma Queen is going to be playing. After I saw them this past weekend, I want to go see them again. I don't think you're getting full band experiences here, because typically for South Buffalo Porch Fest, you're playing acoustic. We were supposed to play South Buffalo Porch Fest in 2020, and that just didn't happen because of COVID. We got offered to do like a live stream for them, but they're like, but we'd like it to look like it's social distanced. We don't want you in the same room together. And we just couldn't quite, I mean, we just weren't even getting into rooms together to play at that point. So it was like, nah, I don't think we're going to make this. Sorry guys, thanks for the offer, you know? But there's great bands playing everywhere. Johnny Hart and the Mess is also at 1 p.m. at 175 Potters Road. Who else is Just Jen? I saw her play a couple of weeks ago. She's at 32 Narragansett Road out here in South Buffalo at noon. But yeah, all kinds of great stuff going on. I know our friends Captain Tom and the Hooligans are playing out somewhere. I'm looking for them on here. The Impurity is playing for like an hour. No, 2 hours. Where are they? They're at 505 McKinley starting at 3. They're playing for 2 hours, apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, they're pretty good.
I like the Impurity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They were supposed to play that show, like, rank show, and they dropped out
Yeah.
last minute.
Yeah. I'm looking for our friends, Captain Tom and the Hooligans, because I know they're playing. Grace Stumberg and friends. I might try to, I mean, I really want to see Karma Queen, but I also want to see Grace Stumberg and friends, because that's It's Grace Stumberg and Grace Logan and Tina Williams and a few other people are playing that particular set. That's at 377 McKinley at 1 o'clock. This is all on Saturday, by the way. Where the fuck are Captain Tom and the Hooligans? There they are. At noon at 156 Culver. So if you're not here to see Green Schwinn on my porch, excuse me, Red Huffy. Same band, different name. Anyway, Red Huffy is playing on my porch at noon, and then Molly Conrad at 2 o'clock on my porch. And so, come out to Wayand and hang out and see all the great music and stuff. It's funny, every year on the day of Porch Fest, I end up having something to do. Like last year I had a wedding to go to. And I come home and there's like a DJ playing on my porch and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going in the side door. And then this year, like after Porch Fest, my kid's graduation is this Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Which is crazy because like, that was the night we were supposed to play with the Queers and the Dwarves. But we had to turn it down. We ended up turning that gig down because we couldn't 100% commit to it. And I'm so glad we did now because it's like, okay, good. I don't have to be like, okay, guys, you hang out here. I'll be here when I can. I probably wouldn't even be able to do both. If we're being honest, because her thing starts at 6. And I think doors at that one are at... doors are at 6 for that one, so there's no fucking way I would have been able to do both. So I would have been, fuck, you should have told me sooner I got this gig, but luckily I don't have this gig. So, yeah. There's a problem with not being able to of not driving is like, I got texted 2 hours before she had her last high school recital with her violin.
Yeah.
Like, hey, are you coming to this? Like, I didn't know about this. How am I supposed to get there? Like, I texted my kid. I'm like, hey, there's no way I can make this. Like, if I would have known sooner, I would have been there. But there's no way I can make this. I hope you have a good show. And she was, my kid understands. So, so. She's turning 18 in a couple of months. I'm taking her out to Holy Ground to get a tattoo. Wow. I got to book that. Speaking of Holy Ground tattoo,
Girlfriend will be going there soon.
To Holy Ground?
Yeah.
Okay. She go to Mark, or who does she go to? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've never been there.
Let me see this one. Speaking of Holy Ground tattoo, I've been there plenty of times.
Are they good?
Oh, all of this is Holy Ground except for this one. And this one.
I need a new tattoo.
Yeah. I'm dying for one, but I'm thinking I'm just gonna be like, yo, Mark, let me get 2 appointments early August. But speaking of Holy Ground tattoo and speaking of tattoos, they have a thing coming up on Saturday as well. It is Tattoos and Barbecue, and I did say Tattoos. They are excited to announce another tattoo flash fundraiser hosted by Holy Ground Tattoo in West Seneca. All right. No appointment is necessary for this exciting fundraiser. Holy Ground artists will be serving and inking on a first-come, first-served basis. Only $50 for a fun cat or pet-themed tattoo, or $80 for a premium tattoo with some color. Attendees must choose a design from the event flash sheet. I'll throw that up on the screen in a few minutes here. Custom designs will not be offered on Saturday. For a custom, contact Holy Ground directly to set up an appointment. The artists are volunteering their time and talents for the benefit of Perfect Cat Rescue. So please consider tipping them generously. It is cash only. Flash sheets of the tattoo can be found in the discussion portion of the event page. There's one of them I will share. And the event will be benefiting a new rescue created by the gals at Perfect Cafe and Gallery called Perfect Cat Rescue. That's perfect. Proceeds from this event will assist in the construction of a beautiful, comfortable, and safe residence for homeless cats and kittens in need to come, get vetted, and be processed for adoption. From there, they will head to Perfect Cafe and Gallery's Cat Lounge, where they will stay until they find their forever homes. And then the barbecue portion of that is to be announced. The event is very popular. They recommend arriving as early as possible to ensure you're able to sign up for a time slot. And Holy Ground staff will be taking names and numbers of event attendees. If there's a long wait, you're welcome to leave the site and come back closer to your designated time slot. So, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull off going to Porch Fest, and going to the graduation. I might reach out to Mark and be like, yo, I want to help. I want to get a tattoo for this, but I'm not going to be available that day. Can I come in Sunday or something?
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, it's great that they do stuff like this all the time. And let me share this flash sheet here of.
That's what you got to pick.
This is what you get to pick. So let me save.
She was showing me this.
Okay.
Because she's gonna get a cat tattoo.
Is that what she's doing? She's going to this? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she was showing me that. On the 20.
Showing the folder, and then we'll we'll drag this right into here, and that might be a little, that's a little too big to show you the whole thing. Oops, that's not what I want. Let me close this, and then
digging that cat taco.
Try and get the whole thing on the screen here if I can.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there you go. That's we'll put it right in the middle of us there, kind of. So that's your choices here. I'm thinking the cat banana.
Cat banana.
I'm thinking the cat banana.
Yellow sauce.
Yeah. Got to go with the cat banana, right?
I'm thinking the taco.
The taco. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna try and go. I don't know if my timing is gonna work out, so I'll just text Mark and be like, yo, I want to donate to this thing. I want to get a tattoo. Let me. Laura says she likes 7, which is the cat Tamagotchi.
My girl, my girl was thinking the box.
Cat in the box. I like the cat in the box.
Her cat's like going in boxes.
I like the cat in the box, but yeah, I'm thinking cat banana. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna message Mark after the show and be like, yo, I don't know if I'm gonna make it Saturday, but can I do this and just come in on like Sunday or something? But yeah, I don't know.
I definitely get a tattoo.
Yeah. I don't know where I want it, but I'm thinking definitely I should get that cat banana tattoo. I don't know, I might get it on my ankle or something. I don't know, somewhere I don't, because I'm kind of themed on my arms, so. But yeah, maybe go Sunday and get one of the, if he'll let me.
I would. I just have to find a way there.
Yeah.
I can't drive.
I think after the show, I'm gonna text my kid, be like, "Yo, give me a date around your birthday that you want to go get a tattoo," and then I'll text Mark and be like, "Yo, I want to come get this tattoo for the cat thing, but I don't know if I can because it's my kid's graduation that night, and I was going to Porch Fest. I guess I could skip Porch Fest to go do it, but I really want to see Karma Queen. I hyped myself up. I really want to sit outside my house and watch Molly Conrad play, there's a lot of a few artists I definitely want to see on Saturday at Porch Fest. So I don't know if I really want to go down to Holy Ground and be like, yo, let me sign up for this thing. I'll see if he'll just let me come in.
Where is it?
Holy Ground's right up the street here on Seneca. So if you're coming from the Bailey area there, off the thruway, you would turn left onto Seneca. You would keep going past my house.
Oh, okay.
And then it's up right where the New York State Thruway meets up with Seneca Street.
All right.
Do you know where Decades is? Decades, the head shop.
I don't know much of this area.
Okay.
I've been down here once.
It's in the same building. Times. It's in the same building as Decades.
Okay.
Which is the head shop down the street.
Is
here.
it in a plaza?
No, it's like Holy Ground and Decades, and I don't think there's anything to the other side of Decades, but
So I go to Living Canvas. I haven't been there in a while. But
yeah, Holy Ground is where I have been going for tattoos for the last 11 years. And I mean literally all but 2 of my tattoos are from Holy Ground.
okay.
So I've been going to Mark since I met him. Except and the only one that hasn't been done by Mark is my Bart Simpson Raven here, which was done by Jen over at Holy Ground, which she was just learning how to tattoo. So I gotta, I was like, I'll be a living canvas. Yeah, go ahead. Give me this Bart Simpson tattoo.
Pricey or?
Nah, not really. I mean,
Depends on what
It's,
the
but I would say
tattoo-
I would say it's average, and it's worth it because Mark
Oh,
is
yeah.
Mark's a sponsored artist.
Oh, he is? Nice.
And he's got this he's got this tattoo gun that's like
Only-
it does the ink really well with like very minimal pain.
I want to try somebody new.
I highly recommend Mark over at Holy Ground. I should be like, Mark, you should give me a free tattoo for talking you up here, man.
I'm a visitor, Mark.
But definitely, I love Mark over at Holy Ground, and he's been my tattoo artist for 10 years and probably more, and will continue to be my tattoo artist. I love going to great conversation, great dude, and just we Karina got her last one there.
Yeah.
And Mark did her tattoo, and we went over Decades is right next door, so she went over to buy some cartridges for her vape pen and shit like that. Mark comes walking in, he's like, yeah, give them my discount. So we got Mark's discount at fucking. I don't know if I should be, he's not gonna do that for everybody, you know what I mean? But he did that for us because he's known me for 10 years, He's been tattooing me for almost once a year for 10 years, because I first met him. I was working at Office Max, and he came in with his then wife Jen, who did my Bart Simpson. They came in together, and I'm looking at her tattoos. And my friend Amanda that I was working with, she's like, yeah, that's Mark. He works over at Holy Ground. He's the guy that did my, Lion King tattoo. And, other people that I was working with, yeah, Mark did this tattoo. Mark did this tattoo, It's like, oh man, I gotta go over to Mark. So I reach out to Mark, I make an appointment with him, and they were over out on Harlem Road out here before they had a fire and they had to move, and that's how they ended up down the street here, which is way more convenient because it's on the bus route. So I go to Holy Ground the first time, and I'd always wanted to get a Metallica and Justice for All tattoo. So I walk in and I've got the artwork printed out. I'm like, Mark, this is what I want. He's like, dude, I've always wanted to do that tattoo. I've always wanted to be, and he did a hell of a job. And here's, that one there. Just did a fantastic job, and the next time I walked in, I'm like, yeah, I got this Banksy piece. Dude, I do street art. I love Banksy. Banksy's awesome. So he did my Banksy, my keep your coins, I want change. And then we, I would just walk into Holy Ground with no idea what I'd want. Actually, no, that's not true. I did know a couple of times, I wanted my Master of Puppets, I wanted my Ride the Lightning. Then the next time I walked in, I had no idea what I wanted. And I'm like, I got no idea. He's like, I got an idea, man. I got you. And he pulls up the Metallica 1 single cover, the Pusshead art. And 1 is my favorite Metallica song ever. It is my number one, if I could never listen to any other song ever again, that's the song I would want to hear. If I could only listen to one song for the rest of my life. And he's pulling up the artwork yeah, I think this would look cool. Yes, let's do that. And we did the same thing for, where is it? There it is. Damage Inc. Did that one. And then he's also done my Brian tribute here. The Black Rock Raven, the Silence of the Cynic. So I've been going to him forever, and I will continue to go to him because he's just that good. Really cool to talk to. Really, definitely one of my, one of my favorite people to interact with, and I'm so glad that I found such a good tattoo artist. And he's told me before, dude, if you ever want to go to anybody else, ask me first, and I'll tell you how they are. So you're not going to someone who's gonna, do a really shitty job. I will tell you who's good and who's not. You don't have to come to me, but you can. But you can ask me if anybody's, good or not. Johnny Mercury says his number one favorite Metallica song is The Unforgiven. I will tell you this. When I got my record player, not this one, but I got an 8-in-1 out in the dining room that Karina and Allison had bought me before I was even dating Karina. They bought me this record player. And Allison had given me an original pressing of Master of Puppets. And I put it on and I'm listening to it. And I've heard this song, you know, I had heard this album a shit ton of times over the last like 20 years before that, because I got into Metallica like 96, 97. And so I've been listening to Master of Puppets that entire time. Put that album on, it was like listening to it for the first time. And my first thought after hearing, and specifically Sanitarium off of Master of Puppets. And my first thought after listening to Sanitarium and basically like, holy shit, this is like hearing it for the first time, was I need to get the Black Album. I need to hear The Unforgiven on vinyl. I need it. And I immediately, knowing full well that they were going to repress that album within the next like 2 years and remaster that album, I was like, I need to buy this now. And I bought a copy of it. And funny enough, I post all my vinyl when I listen to it for the first time. I usually post it on Instagram. I didn't do that with a couple of the records I just got, but I usually do that. And I posted it, and Drew from The Long Cold Dark, also knowing that Metallica was going to repress the Black Album, a remastered edition, the box set and all that, he said, why would you buy that now? I'm like, because I wanted to listen to it now. I don't want to wait 2 years. Like, I wanted to hear this on vinyl right now. I don't want to wait 2 years. And then finally, when the Black Album box did come out, I was like, oh shit, I can actually afford this. And I bought the Black Album box set. So I actually now have that album twice on vinyl. But also like all the extra shit that came with it. So, which was cool. Like, I really wanted the Nothing Else Matters elevator version. Which is when Metallica first wrote Nothing Else Matters, they worked with Michael Kamen of the San Francisco Symphony Orchestra, and he did a whole instrumental arrangement for Nothing Else Matters, and most of that got cut out of the final version. But they released on the Sad But True single, which is available in the Metallica Black Album box set on vinyl, on the Sad But True single, they released what they called the elevator version, which was like had all of that orchestral arrangement from Michael Kamen, which and I've had that on like bootleg CDs over the years. I never actually owned the Sad But True single to have that. But now it's cool to like have an official version of that and like have it on vinyl at that. So that's really cool to have that. But like, but at the time when I first got that record player, the first thought was I need The Unforgiven on vinyl, and immediately like bought the latest pressing from Blackened Records of the Black Album. I like to get maybe an original like 1991 pressing if I could, but I don't need one, so I'm not like on the lookout for one. And then the next album I needed to buy was Pink Floyd The Wall, which of course was also arranged by Michael Kamen. So and now I have 2 copies of that. And let me tell you something, the original pressing sounds way better than the newer one. I don't know, it's just something like, the new one is just like lifeless. But that original pressing is just like, yeah, that's what I'm expecting to hear when I put on some vinyl. So, Molly Conrad is playing at South Buffalo Porch Fest. She's actually playing on my porch on Saturday at I just had it where to go. It's on my list here. Molly Conrad playing 2 p.m. Saturday at 112 Wayand Avenue as part of South Buffalo Porch Fest. The full lineup is available at southbuffaloporchfest.com. So I will try to be here for Molly Conrad. If I go to the Holy Ground thing, who knows? If I go to see Karma Queen, I'll probably get back maybe halfway through the Molly Conrad set, but I'm looking forward to seeing her set. And this is Molly Conrad, and the song is called Devon on All WNY ThinkSoJoE Show.
Headphones in, no music on. Heading off to Wonderland. Close your eyes, it's a mystery. Where do you start when you don't know where to begin? The ants are calling, but you don't wanna talk. Habits creeping up, so you hide under a rock. They say you've blossomed, you couldn't care at all, couldn't care at all. Bottles up, they say your chance is done. You don't wanna play pretend. Lose your spot in line intentionally. Oh, when will your heart tell you something's gotta begin? People chatter, laugh into your ear. Men all stumbling, spill over their beer. Ask about your career. Echoes humming, you've nothing to fear, nothing to fear. Even the sun is unreliable, and the clouds can block the rays. The starry skies, dark can still bring you light. Good ones still need praise. Even the road can take a nasty turn, and the right one's just a chance. Even the lucky men meet the same unlucky end. You see, it's just one glance. There's just a glance. Just a glance. Headphones in, no music on. Heading off to Wonderland again.
All right, that was Molly Conrad on the ThinkSoJoE Show, all WNY. A song called Devon, and she's playing on my porch in a couple of days. So,
All right.
yeah.
That's awesome.
It's one good thing about Porch Fest is I never know who's going to play on my porch until I see the lineup. And Spud played on my porch last year, but I wasn't home. I was at a wedding. I was at a wedding, and the fucking DJ's in like swim trunks and shit. Like, what the fuck, man? And it was a dude that like Karina knew. So she's like, oh my God, I can't believe he's wearing that. And like a lot of other people we knew this dude. So she's like, you got to take a picture. You got to send it to Jay from On the Cinder. And like, so like anytime this dude's name comes up in conversation, I'm just like, yeah, here's a picture of him at a wedding. Wearing fucking blue and orange. What the fuck, dude? Anyways. Yeah. No, that's good. That's some good stuff, man, Molly Conrad. I was kind of nervous about playing her on the show because her fucking Facebook profile is verified. Like, it's got the blue check. Like, how the fuck do we get a blue check? Like, she's got over 2,000 followers and shit. We've got like 750. How come we can't get one? I don't know. Maybe
awesome.
maybe I'll put one out. Maybe I'll put the feeler out. Put the request out to get it. I don't know. I tried for the show, for the podcast. It was like, they immediately rejected it. Like, great, cool, no problem, understood.
Give us a chance.
Anyway, well, you know, got to get more people following and liking and listening. And, you know, the good thing about this podcast is you get people interested when you play their band. They might not know this is out there. And then you play their band and they're like, oh, hey, this podcast is actually pretty cool. And then, you know, they won't necessarily tune in every week, but they'll tune in at least for the show they're on, and they'll plug it and they'll share it, and people will be like, oh, hey, I haven't seen this podcast before. And then there's times where you just go to a show and people are like, hey, man, I watch your podcast. Like, hey, that's cool. Who are you? I was telling somebody the other day, I went and saw the Clockers years ago, before the show was even on video, right? I went and saw the Clockers, and I wanted to book them on a show. So I went to go give the singer a business card, because I got my business cards for, you know, event coordinator for all WNY or whatever. So I went to go give him my business card, and before I can even hand him the card, he sees me, and he's like, hey, you're Joe, aren't you? I said, yeah. He's like, yeah, I listen to your podcast, man. Thanks for playing us. Like, you recognize me from my audio podcast? Okay, cool. You know? I don't know, man. It's kind of weird now because I'm going to shows by myself. So when people come up to me and start talking to me and I don't know who they are, I don't have anybody to turn to and be like, yo, who was that? I was at the Skamagachi show, and I know who the dude was. I'm like, I think I know who this dude is, but I'm not sure. And he's talking to me, and we had a whole conversation. And then I'm like, and the one thing that like he said to me was like, oh yeah, the last show we played was that Halloween show. And I'm like, you know, before the pandemic, like, really? Okay. So as soon as dude walks away, I pull up this Halloween show from 2019 or 2020, no, 2019. And it's like, okay, well, I know he's not in this band or this band. He's got to be in this band. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's who the dude is. It's like, it was Todd from The Missing Worker. I feel bad because I'm actually friends with those guys, and I'm just like, I think I know who this dude is, but I can't come up with a name. It used to be that would happen to me all the time, and I'd just turn to Karina and be like, yo, who was that guy? John, thoughts on boxing?
Boxing.
Boxing? You sound excited about boxing.
Boxing.
You're into boxing?
I wouldn't say I'm into boxing, but it looks fun. I always wanted to try it. I'd probably lose, though. I'd get my ass knocked out, but it's on one of my bucket lists. Before I go.
Get in the ring, they'll be like, dude, do you want to fight Mike Tyson? You're like,
Yeah, right.
There's one more. I've played every one of these except for this one. What's this one?
What a totally amazing...
Oh, no, I did play that one. Okay, cool. I played them all. I've played all the ones I've got programmed here. Let's see.
Good call.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, anyway. And I'm going to put that right back to the right fucking sound bank, so when we go to play Johnny Revolting, you've always wanted to put things in boxes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Is that? I did. I'm gonna put my motorcycle.
Johnny Mercury, I can train you to box. I trained in Chicago, one of the toughest cities to learn. There you go.
All right.
There you go. You got a trainer now.
I got a trainer. Awesome.
Once your foot heals, of course. You got to, a lot of boxing is footwork, so you know.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you got to wait till that foot heals, and then you can train in boxing. I mean, I know people more locally who could probably train you in boxing, but that's,
I'm gonna go with him.
Okay.
He came out with my T-shirt. He's my trainer.
Rosie from BD2, her family runs a boxing gym.
Oh.
So yeah, Cassell's down in Niagara Falls. So, John, name 3 countries beginning with the letter A.
Oh fuck.
You gotta think back to your Animaniacs, wackos. He's you can't Google it. If we weren't on video, you could probably Google it and I wouldn't say anything. but like they can see you doing it.
3 countries that start with an A.
I mean, that's not that hard. Come on, man. He's thinking. You put him on the spot, and that's why you can't. You didn't ask me, and that's why I'm like, yeah, okay, I got him. I got 2 anyway. Oh, no, I got 3.
I can't believe I graduated high school.
We'll get to that next question, but we're waiting for you to, if you're coming up with an answer for this one.
3 countries.
3 countries.
I'm gonna get this wrong.
Okay. You got any ideas? You have one?
Alaska?
Alaska's a state, dude.
They didn't teach me anything in high school.
All right, I got 3. All right, you ready? Algeria.
How was I supposed to know that?
Albania.
What? Never heard of.
Afghanistan.
Okay, I heard of that one.
See, if you watch The Simpsons, you would know about Albania.
Yes,
anyway,
now I gotta go watch The Simpsons now.
Laura is shocked you passed kindergarten.
Hey! My parents were shocked too.
John Munsters versus Addams Family.
Really?
That's a tough question, man.
That is tough.
That is a tough question. What are your thoughts?
I'm going with Addams Family.
You're going Addams Family. I think I would also go Addams Family, but that is a very tough call. I'm giving you Addams Family. I think I would also go Addams Family, but man, the Munsters are fucking cool too.
That was the easy question.
Yeah, I could definitely. That's how you snap your fingers for Addams Family. But yeah, and I kind of grew up more with the Addams Family than the Munsters because they had like the cartoon at the time when I was growing up, and so I would watch the cartoon every week. But like the Munsters, I was watching recently, and it's like, oh man, this show's so good. Like,
and they're doing a movie.
And they're doing the movie. Rob Zombie's doing the movie. Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing that.
All right, John, what ocean would you like to visit?
The Pacific.
I'll give you that. I have been to the West Coast. I've been out by the Pacific Ocean. So now you so you know which one's the Pacific Ocean, right? You know what is near the Pacific Ocean. You know, like you do know this, right? You know the difference between the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean.
Somewhat.
Okay, so now you know that the Atlantic Ocean is closer to us.
Yeah.
It's closer to like the UK.
Yeah.
You know it's nowhere near Japan and China.
No.
AEW apparently does not because they have an all-Atlantic championship that has a Japanese and Chinese flag on it. I don't know.
They didn't do the research.
I guess not. And by the time we see AEW, which we got to figure out how we're getting there, by the time we see AEW, somebody will have that belt. That's Forbidden Door is this weekend, right?
Yes.
Is it this weekend? Okay, so Forbidden Door is this week. Is it Friday or is it Saturday or Sunday?
I think it's Sunday.
Okay, if it's Sunday, we could probably watch it. I think I'm home. But Forbidden Door is this weekend, and they're going to have the Atlantic Championship Tournament Finals. So they're going to crown a new Atlantic champion, all-Atlantic champion. But, like, seriously, why is there a Japanese flag on there? Johnny Mercury's got a couple. Austria, Amsterdam, Armenia. There's a couple of more A countries there.
Like I said, they had me in some special ed class. They didn't teach me anything.
You didn't? Did you watch Animaniacs growing up?
Oh yeah.
So you just think back to Wacko's work. Yakko did the states. No, Wacko did the states, and Yakko did the countries. I know the state song way better than I know the countries, but like United States, Canada, Mexico, Panama, Chile, Jamaica, Peru. Amsterdam is a city, says Laura. I don't know. I believe she's right. I believe she is correct. I think that is a city. See, and Johnny Mercury says he was in special ed too, and you kick ass. I don't know. I know the state's song way better than I know the country song. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Indianapolis, Indiana, and Columbus is the capital of Ohio.
We got to cover that now.
Oh, great.
Render a punk rock version of it. That'd be awesome.
I'm
Katie,
sure
if you're listening.
I'm sure Katie will have something to say about that.
I know.
I couldn't get her to cover We Didn't Start the Fire, so I don't think
awesome.
she's I don't think she's gonna want to do that.
I like to hear her thoughts though.
I'll have to settle for like karaoke. We Didn't Start the Fire. Go to fucking karaoke night and do that.
Yeah, I will do a Guns N' Roses cover.
We gotta go to karaoke once your foot's healed. Let's do that.
Yes.
John, are you still a Swiftie? Do you still like Taylor Swift?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. You don't have to suck up anymore. You can say that you're not a Swiftie. It's okay. She's not listening.
She doesn't have bad music.
It's Taylor Swift's okay. I don't dislike Taylor Swift. I don't dislike her music, and I don't dislike anybody who likes her music.
It's pretty dark.
But
the stuff she writes.
fucking Gumshoe did a Taylor Swift cover. They played Love Story. Actually, all the bands did great covers. The first band did Green Day. They did She by Green Day, which is a great fucking song.
Good song.
And Karma Queen did No Scrubs by TLC.
Really?
I got video of it, actually, yeah. John, thoughts on Katy Perry?
Katy Perry. My thoughts?
What are your thoughts on Katy Perry?
She kicks ass too.
I like Katy Perry, man.
I gotta say that. She kicks ass.
We went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We've been talking about playing Cleveland, and we want to play Cleveland sometime. But with Yellow Sauce, I went and played Cleveland. And if you, I don't know if this is public knowledge. I mean, somebody told me. So, but like, if you go to Cleveland and you're playing a show in Cleveland, you can actually go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All the band members can get in for free. And we showed up so late in the day, they were just like, yeah, all of you can come in for free. Like us and Marissa, Leland's girlfriend, and Jasmine was with us. And we got to all go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for free. And one of the things they had was a Warped Tour exhibit. And they had Katy Perry's, like, stuff that she wore at Warped Tour.
Oh, nice.
And it's like, dude, people don't realize, like, Katy Perry just didn't want to be a pop singer. You know, she wanted to be in a fucking punk band. You know, she wanted to make her name that way. But you know, she ended up, the pop star thing just kind of fell in her lap, and she was able to do that and make a career out of it. So that's pretty cool. Okay, we'll go in order here. John, Katy Perry versus Taylor Swift fist fight. Who wins?
Hands down, Taylor Swift.
I think, I don't know, man. I think, yeah, you're probably right. I think with fighting, I think Taylor's probably got the edge in fighting knowledge, but I feel like Katy Perry has like a size advantage a little bit over Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, so, it might be pretty evenly matched, but I think
it might be even.
I think Taylor Swift might be able to take Katy Perry. One of these days, maybe we'll get a Fox boxing special where they're like, hey, we're going to put Taylor Swift up against Katy Perry, and we actually get an answer to that question. But until then, I'm going to say, I'm going to agree with you and say Taylor Swift. I think. John, thoughts on The Living Brain Dead? Thoughts on The Living Brain Dead? You begged to get into this band.
I did. I begged the hell out of Brian. He said, fine! You can try out! Leave me alone! That's the thing. And I left him alone the whole fucking day. I was like, Brian, can I join? Can I join? Can I join? Can I try out? Can I try out? Can I try out? Can I try out? Until he blew up.
It was so cool getting to talk to Mark Lee the other day about Brian and just like just kind of reminisce and stuff and talk about Brian's gear and where a lot of it ended up. So
I'm glad I'm a part of this.
Yeah.
So it worked out. I'm you guys' new drummer, and I've been with you guys about almost 3 years.
It's been going on.
Coming
So
up.
yeah, we just celebrated 3 years as a band the other day. We formed with Ghetto Steve on drums and Brian on bass, and it may be a different lineup, but like you and Ryan are just like, we're so glad to have you guys in the band, and it's just like just a great experience just getting to hang with you guys every week. I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else.
I'm happy to be in this band.
Johnny Mercury versus Laura in a cage match. Who wins? He's being very careful about this answer. He zipped the lip. He's pleading the fifth on this one.
I don't want to make anybody mad or turn anybody against me.
He's pleading the fifth on this one. John, can I be in the living brain dead? I can play the triangle.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Johnny, you do know I'm a black belt, says Lo. The challenge, I think, is now being laid down in the chat here between Johnny and Laura. We'll play some bets privately off the air. So he's out. And, yeah, I did not know Laura was a black belt. So if that is the case, I mean, but John's got boxing experience, so he was trained in Chicago by some of the toughest.
I'm keeping my mouth shut because I don't want to make anybody mad.
I saw a post earlier today, and there was somebody was in Chicago, and they saw the Chicago flag, and they're like, "Oh, they're flying CM Punk's logo in downtown Chicago," and it's just like, yeah. Wait till she finds out that the McAllisters had it in their attic when CM Punk was 12 years old. But yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get to Chicago. I'm gonna try and go to Chicago. I don't think I'm gonna make Riot Fest. I wanted to go to Riot Fest, but I don't think I'm going to make it. I was thinking Lollapalooza, but I'm definitely not going to make that because now we're going to probably have band practice that night. So I was just going to go for night one for Metallica and then fly back and do the show and then fly out for SummerSlam. So, which I got to get you money for that. We were talking about that. John has a Chicago City flag tattoo on his hand. So there you go.
There's a good punk scene in Chicago.
I'd like to go to Chicago. I've been to Chicago, but I was there for Judge Mathis. So I didn't get to really explore Chicago. There was this place, and you can see it on Google Maps on Street View. But when we were driving to Seattle when I was 21, we pulled off into Chicago, and we drove by this place, and it's got a big, on the side of the building, it says, "Tombstones made while you wait." That's my Chicago experience. That and, going to the NBC studio down there to be on Judge Mathis, which is, at the end of Jerry Springer, when they would come out in the hallway, Steve the security guard would be walking them out in the hallway.
Yeah.
You walk right by that hallway to get to Judge Mathis's studio.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What's going on here? Yes, I was 21 when I drove to Seattle. Laura, do you know I stayed in a Holiday Inn Express last night? What the fuck? We're going to stay at a Best Western when we go to Pittsburgh. I got connections with all the Wyndham hotels, but I was like, I don't want to talk to my old boss, so I called up my other buddy, John. And I'm like, "John, can you get me a hotel in Pittsburgh?" And he's like, "I don't know. I'll try." And then he called me up and we talked about it, and he got us a hotel. It's 20 minutes away from the venue. It's going to be it'll probably cost a little bit for Uber, but that's okay. I don't mind.
You gotta get through the bus ride.
Yeah. Well, I'm figuring we get if we're not, I don't know if we're bringing anything with us or if we're just going to go.
A book bag.
Yeah. If you bring a book bag, we've got to go to the hotel before we go to the venue because they're not going to let you in with a book bag. Which is fine. I mean, that's not a problem for me.
Oh, really? You don't like that? Usually, Darren Lake checks your bags.
I have no. I'll look into it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that venue. John, car or truck?
I have to say, I I never drove a truck, so I would say a car.
Okay. Laura says she's spying on Johnny Mercury, and that's how she knew he was in a Holiday Inn Express last night. Yeah, I've never really drove a truck either, so if I were driving, I'd probably prefer a car. So, I don't know. I've always said that my dream car is the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo. Somebody locally has one, which is crazy.
Oh, there's a thing I saw on the news. You can stay there for a night.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can rent it.
There was an Airbnb, like when the last Ninja Turtles movie came out, there was like an Airbnb in New York City that was decked out like Ninja Turtles shit. That was like, you know, it was like an expensive Airbnb, but like you could stay there. And it was only up for like a month, but that was pretty cool to kind of like at least see the pictures of that. Johnny Mercury's dream car is a DeLorean.
Nice.
You gonna build build a time machine in it?
That's sick.
If you're gonna build a time machine, you might as well do it with some style. It is not music time, Laura. You are 2 minutes early. This last song is only 2 minutes and 12 seconds long. Gotta love punk bands. How are our songs like averaging like 3 minutes? We're a punk band.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's out of order.
We play long punk songs apparently.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this next show, man. This next show is gonna be fucking fun. You're gonna be like hobbling up the fucking steps at Stamps.
And you know
with
what?
the...
Ain't stopping me. This league ain't stopping me. I'm playing that show.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. We got our set list all kind of planned out already, and what we're gonna do, and how we're gonna, you know, how we're gonna help Karina celebrate her birthday without putting Rick Astley on our set list. So Laura says she's in a punk band. She quit. What? I don't know. Yes, you are in a punk band. You're playing Triangle for us. Apparently, she quit now, so she's not in the punk band. Anyway, we still gotta get horn player to do some stuff for our 80s EP when we get back to doing that. So whenever Ryan gets back from West Virginia, we could probably get to work on some of that. So thoughts on thoughts on Generation X band? I know the D-Generation X band. Do you know Generation X, the band?
Think so?
I'm not familiar. I don't know. You said Generation X, and my thought immediately went to
Kick-ass.
But anyway, we gotta go. We've received 100 messages. Billy Idol's band. Don't you talk to Billy Idol that way. I just watched The Wedding Singer the other night. All right, we do gotta go though. Johnny Revolting is performing Saturday night at Mohawk Place, 47 East Mohawk Street. They're opening for the Queers, the Dwarves, and the Jasons. The doors are at 6 p.m., $22 advance, $25 day of show. Those are some punk rock legends on that bill. So definitely, if you're around on Saturday night, which I unfortunately, I guess, because I get to see my kid walk across the stage and get a diploma, but I'm not available to go to this show, and I was hoping to go, but obviously priorities. But if you're able to go to this show, definitely do. Johnny Revolting is a fantastic band. All the rest of the bands on this show are you know, like you got the Dwarves and the Queers are punk rock legends. The Queers, I think, are celebrating like 40 years as a band. The Dwarves are playing like the 30th anniversary of one of their albums, so they're playing it in full. And of course, Johnny Revolting is a great band, and I'm so glad that when we turned that down, they got it. So definitely check that show out. This is Johnny Revolting. This song is called Spank Bank on all WNY ThinkSoJoE Show, and we will see you next week.
Party on.